Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going? So what am I working on now? I got a 2015, I believe it's 2015. Yeah, 2015 Chevy Silverado High Country. It's a four-door crew cab pickup. Anyway, customers' complaint is they get a check engine light and then it goes into like a limp mode. They bring it to a stop, they shut it down, they clear the codes, restart it, and then they can drive again, and all of a sudden they'll get a check engine light. Okay. Problem is, they cleared the code when they brought it in. So now I got no codes. He doesn't recall what the codes were. He seems to think it's a transmission issue. He did say that he just had the transmission flushed at the dealer. It's got 102,900 miles on it. So, they just had the transmission flushed at the dealer. At 102,000, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have suggested it or recommended it, especially if the fluid was dirty. I have no idea the condition of the fluid beforehand. But he said he never had this problem until they flushed it. And now they're just like, oh, well, what do you want us to do about it? So, I don't know. So I'm assuming I'm going to have some kind of torque converter codes, if I had to venture a guess. So now, here, let me just show you. So here, I just ran a code scan on it. Let me get the report. I see I have codes and radio and this and the other thing. If he just has a code reader, he can't see any of these other codes. He could just see ECM. So let's go to report. Okay. Okay. Just want to see if any of these give me any kind of a hint towards what was in. Yeah. Low voltage codes, seat memory is. Let's see. Yeah, it's not gonna show me anything. I'll just save this and send myself a report anyway, just so I have it. Okay, so share, email, mention with Kenny at Gmail, and send. Okay. So now, I'm going to take this thing for a ride to see if I can't figure out what it's doing. Like I said, unfortunately, clearing out all the codes gives me nothing to work on. So I have to induce codes. I have to make it happen. So he says he can get up to about 55, 65, something like that, and then it'll happen. But he didn't specify, is it hot, cold, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to take it for a ride, see what it does. All right, let's get going. Okay, well, it hasn't set any codes yet. However, just driving this thing down the road, I can feel it kind of shuddery as I'm going. And it could either be a misfire or the torque converter slippage, where it's shuddering the whole vehicle. It's hard to tell. So I just pulled over on the side of the road here for a second. I'm in this industrial park area, so it's kind of a really good spot to road test stuff. But I got the torque converter slip speed, the desired slip speed and the actual slip speed up on the scanner right now. So I'm going to let you watch that as I'm driving. So unfortunately I got light, a glare right now. Let me back up a little bit, that might help. So that is the desired, and that's the actual. So I'm just pulled over. I got to go up here to this traffic light. Alright, so I'm just sitting at a traffic light right now. Alright, here we go. And the whole truck has got like a shake to it. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. And this is a newly paved road, so it's pretty smooth, but it's just, this whole truck is jumpy. Like, It's not smooth. And you can see little blips there, but nothing dramatic. So I don't know if that's a torque converter issue or if it's a misfire. I really don't know at this point yet. All right. Coming up on the Galapagos Islands here, so I might just pull in there and set the scanner to misfire and see what I can find, if I can find anything. I mean, I see a little movement on the torque converter, but nothing that I would deem a real problem. I've seen much worse. I mean, it's not that these transmissions are known for having issues, but I still don't want to condemn it yet. I want to make sure of what I'm looking at. I want to make sure of the actual problem. So, I don't know, for some reason I'm not sure. I would think a little handheld scanner that's just giving you the codes in the PCM, and considering this thing has a TCM also, I wouldn't think that it would clear the TCM, but I could be wrong. I don't know for certain. So let me just get over in here and let me go over to engine data, because I'm in transmission data right now. Okay, so I pulled up current and history misfire counters on all 8 cylinders, so I got 16 graphs here. So don't really care that I have 16, but at least this way I can see if anything shows up. So let me just get out of the Galapagos Islands here and out onto the road and see if anything shows up. I think it's going to be transmission related, but I can't get to that determination just yet, just because of the way this thing's acting. So, all right, let me get out on the road. Okay, and you see cylinder 3 had a misfire to it there. See that? So the thing's shuddering like crazy right now, but I'm not seeing anything on that data. I'm hopefully I can induce a code on this thing. But yeah, it's shuddering. It's shuddering like crazy right now. I think that's torque converter. I think that cylinder 3 misfire was just a glitch, but it did it two times. All right. Okay, I actually pulled over to the side of the road to restart the graph, because the graph was all over the board. So now I'm going to be heading up a slight hill here. Let's see what this thing shows. I do think it's torque converter clutch. But I can't induce a check engine light. But you can see the RPMs there. How they shoot up and down. That's not normal. It should hold relatively steady, and it's not. But I wish I could get this darn thing to throw a light. But I can't. Because I would think that there's something else going on other than torque converter slip. Just my thought. See, now it should be holding somewhat steady here, and it is shaking the daylights out of the truck. Alright, a little bit inconclusive, but at this point, what am I going to do? I really think it's a torque converter, just judging by the way this thing's actually feeling now. Now that the fluid's hot, the engine's hot, tranny's hot. So, all right, let's get back to the shop. I'm just going to make this turn here. Maybe you guys can see something while I'm driving. Come on, people. Whoa, there, it's violent. I don't know if you can hear it and feel it, but it's like, it's jarring the whole truck. And then it smooths out once I let go of it. Coming up on another little hill. It's the problem around here. There's not any really good hills. Yeah, you can. Right there. Wow. That's actually violent. And you can see the RPMs moving around, whereas it should be steady there, but you could see how it shot around over there. Okay. All right, let's head back to the shop. Oddly enough, I thought it just went into limp mode because I started to accelerate, and I'm accelerating lightly, and the RPMs went all the way up to like 4,200, and it wasn't shifting, and then all of a sudden it started shifting again. So we definitely got an internal transmission issue going on here. Let me see, I'm going to probably catch this light. And you can see, look how flatlined that's supposed to be and how off whack that was while I was cruising. So, all right, light should turn green in a second. See if it does the same thing. It shifted right there. But it should be shifting by now. See it's hanging out there? Oh, there it goes finally. That's a delayed shift. But it didn't do that before, not when it was cold, only now. Huh. Very peculiar. It's almost like it defaulted something, because see how that line is staying steady now? Alright, let me get back to the shop and we'll investigate a little further. So yeah, this thing's definitely in some kind of a limp mode here. It's shifting way too high, and as you can see, the desired slip speed has not changed, and the shift points are much higher now than they were before for some reason. So it's gone into some kind of a mode here where it's defaulted. So hopefully when I get to the shop, I'll be able to see if there's a code in this thing. I mean, I am just lightly accelerating. This thing should be shifting a long time ago. It's almost like it put itself into like a sport mode. Yeah, it should definitely not be like that. All right. Yeah, when I got out on the main road, this thing took forever to shift. It was like up around 4,500 to shift when I was trying to accelerate. All right, let's go back. Let's just see. Do I have any codes in the transmission? Yep. PL741. Stuck off. Okay. Let's do this. Let's go all the way back. And let's actually do this. Okay. Do a smart scan. All right, so I guess his little handheld reader can actually clear tranny codes. But what I want to do is I want to generate this report and send it to myself. In case you guys are wondering why this shows up like this, I've explained it before. It comes in through the OBD connector, and this is the path of communication through the system. This is actually the tree of how it's like everything's laid out. The topology. All right, so report. Okay. At this point, this is probably going to need a transmission. So we're going to save. Saved successfully. Now we're going to share it to myself and send. Okay. So now that should be in my email. All right, I'm going to have to look up that code. I want to verify exactly what it means, and then go from there. And that'll probably end this video. But let me do that first, see where that leads me, and we'll go from there. All right, so here I pull up my email just so you can see it. Your report. And then this way, I can save this and attach it to the repair order. Another nice thing about this too is if you're doing this at home, you're doing this for yourself or a mobile tech, whatever, you can actually give this printout to a customer. It just makes life that much easier. The amazingly odd thing is my Snap-on scanner will not do this. Why? I don't know. I mean, that scanner that I used at King Bolin K10, that's a $1,000 scanner. My Snap-on scanner is a $4,000 scanner. And I like this King Bolin way better than the Snap-on one. I hate to say it because I'm a Snap-on fanboy, so to speak. But you know, if you're just starting off in the business, you do not need Snap-on type tools or quality. If you're just starting, I'm saying I do love their quality, but anyway, I'm not going to go off on a tangent on that. So this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to save it to my computer. Right down here, I just changed it to Silverado. Hang on one second. Okay, didn't have to hang on all that long. So I just changed it to Silverado. And save. So now that it's saved, I can go over to the actual repair order if I wanted to. I can go to notes. I can go add finding. And I can attach Silverado and open. So now it should show up right there. Okay, that's all. I just want to show you that. All right, let me go ahead and let me look this code up. I just want to verify everything that it says. I'm pretty sure this is going to lead to replace a torque converter type of situation, which at this point with the mileage, you're getting a transmission. Not worth just putting a converter in down that road before. So, all right. So I found a few bulletins in regards to this, and they talk about how the pump itself, when you have this code, the pump itself can get scored on the inside because the torque converter is coming apart. Also, when a pump gets scored, it says that like clutch packs 3, 4, and 5 or something like that usually wear out because of this issue. So there again, putting a converter in this thing is really not going to fix it. Probably going to need a pump too. At that point, put a transmission in it. It's not worth it. At least with a new transmission or a reman transmission, you're going to get a warranty with it. One interesting thing, and I wanted to show you this, you can't do this on all vehicles. On this one you can. They want to know, is it a 6-speed or an 8-speed? Well, how do you know? You know, you go driving it or whatever, and you can kind of count the shifts. But let's say you can't drive it for whatever reason. On this one you could do this. Let me show you. So you shift it down into drive and then into manual mode right there. Zoom in. And then you have the button here so you can select up and down shift. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it will not go any higher. So that's how you know, hey, this is a 6-speed. So, all right, we're going to leave it at that. This thing's going to need a transmission. I think this thing has some kind of warranty on it. I know a bunch of you have been asking about warranties. I'm going to make a video on that in regards to those aftermarket supplemental warranties and what you need to look out for, which ones are good, which ones are not. I've actually been thinking about doing this video for quite a long time. Me as a mechanic, I can't stand those companies. They're a pain in the neck to deal with. But for some of you out there, it may be worth it. So I will get into that in a separate video. All right, guys. Hopefully you got something out of that. If you did, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.